Would you like to live your best life possible, regardless of your imperfections? Discover cutting-edge tools and inspiration to let go of your limitations and expand your life beyond what you've ever imagined. On Imperfect Brilliance, we help you tap into your unique gifts and talents, uncovering and letting your brilliance shine. Join certified facilitators and coaches Betsy McLaughlin and Kathy Williams to delve into different areas of your life. Get unstuck and create the life that is truly possible for you. These joyful ladies have changed their lives by utilizing the tools and techniques they share with you. What if your willingness to acknowledge your brilliance is the catalyst to creating a new reality? When you stop judging you, what else can you create in your life and in the world? Join Kathy and Betsy live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern to create magical and joyous possibilities for an hour of laughs, questions, tips, and more. We are excited to contribute and play with you.
Welcome to Imperfect Brilliance, everyone. I'm Kathy Williams here with Betsy McLaughlin, and we are imperfectly brilliant. Gonna have a fun conversation today about food, eating, judgments, and hang-ups. And this time of year, we're recording this live during the holiday season, which can bring up a lot for people in terms of eating and having food around. And it's been said that people gain about 5 pounds this time of year. I'm not sure how truly accurate that is, but it's certainly something that people get concerned about. And this show is here to help. So we're going to talk all about different reasons we eat that have nothing to do with hunger. Maybe you've experienced some of them. I've experienced almost all of them. And then dive into some solutions, some questions you can ask your body, questions you can ask yourself, and ways you can stop eating for reasons other than hunger. So before we dive in, Betsy, would you like to talk about us a little bit?
Sure. I think you have like some kind of, what do you call those people, announcers that, you know, can do it in those deep voices and talk all about us.
Ooh.
But since I really can't mimic a man's deep voice, I guess I'll do my best in my voice. So, as Kathy said earlier, we are certified facilitators. We facilitate and truly utilize the tools and techniques and questions that are very, very pragmatic in our daily lives. And we have both seen such significant changes that is why we desired to become facilitators to empower others. And so you'll hear conversations that we weave in all of these tools and questions. And we're so grateful, too, that you guys are listening to us. And we are also moms. We are about as far apart on the United States as we can be. I'm on the eastern coast of the United States in Maryland, in the suburb of Washington, D.C., and Kathy is in the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. But we are both U.S. residents. And let's see, what else can we tell them about us? We love to.
Can you believe that?
I know.
Hawaii is part of the U.S.? Some people are like, oh, how often do you come to the U.S.? And I'm like, I live in the U.S. I know what you're talking about, and
I'm happy to be surrounded by water, but I still am in the U.S.
Yep, you do not need a passport to come visit me. So,
which is nice, right? But I mean, you know, go visit Kathy and have a passport from somewhere else in the world. So But it really is interesting. We do live in such an amazing world where it truly is so easy to stay in touch, whether you hop on a plane, a train, an automobile, you get on a Zoom call, you pick up the phone and do a Skype call, or, WhatsApp. There's so many different ways that we can talk to you guys and facilitate and play with you. And that's one thing we do love to do is really bring a lot of fun into some subjects that might be kind of heavy and emotion produced, and we have the tools and questions to really shift a lot of things. And I just finished up 3 days body class with Dr. Anthony Maddox, which was wonderful and amazing and so expansive. And it's interesting, we're talking about bodies and foods today, Kathy, that my body is really, really kind of tired today, and I have a headache, and so I know really that there's a lot of shifting and changing going on. And so right before the show, Kathy was telling me that she has a headache too.
I don't anymore, by the way. I give it back to you.
Well, mine is getting much better as well. It's like, and we have had plenty of conversations around this about, how aware are we of everything around us? So when you have something like, a headache or, body pains and stuff, remembering to ask these questions and practice the tools and techniques to shift things. So, Kathy's saying, well, I gave it back to you. And, I'm saying, well, is it even mine? Or what are we aware of? What's going on with the earth? I know that I had a lot of changes and a lot of things occur with my body this weekend. So even how much is my body shifting and changing even today after 3 days of wonderful, wonderful body processes. And if you're listening and you have no idea what we're talking about with body processes, or there's just such an amazing array of possibilities with underneath the umbrella of access consciousness. And one of the first things that you can do is either take a body process class. You can also take an energetic facelift class from someone, or an access bars class. And you can find out way more information than we can, give you in the quick time we're talking about it at accessconsciousness.com. And then you can look on Kathy's schedule, Kathy with a K, Kathy Williams, and you can look for me, and you just search by our names, or Betsy McLaughlin, which is McLoughlin. And we're always adding classes to our schedule with bars classes and facelift and body processes, specialty classes. Kathy has specialty class of, I'm drawing a complete blank, Kathy, at the moment, Radical Abundance. Sorry about that.
Radical Abundance.
She has a specialty class of Radical Abundance, so she does a lot of different pieces to it. And I'm sure she'll tell us a little bit more. And then I have a specialty class that I just am developing right now on creating yumminess. And we can do topics on pretty much anything that you would like to explore. So, Kathy, you want to tell them a little bit about your Radical Abundance before we dive into the subject of food?
Absolutely. And in fact, next Tuesday, I have an intro, just a free little class. If you're not seeing it on my website, my VA has not put it there yet. But if you're not seeing it and would like to be, pinged when that happens, you can either sign up for my newsletter and, also get a free money rain exercise at my website, meetkathywilliams.com, or you can just PM me, and I'll make sure you get the info on that free class, because it's really an intro about two things that have to be present in order for you to be abundant. And I'm not going to tell you what they are, but your life will dramatically improve just by bringing your awareness to these two things and by increasing them in your life. So that'll be a week from today. It'll actually be on the same day as our next radio show. And then the Radical Abundance program is 8 weeks, and it's really to shift your relationship with the universe in knowing that the universe has your back in what you would like to create, and getting clear on what abundance is for you and inviting the universe to support you in creating that, and shedding bogus desires that may have been yours in the past or may never have been yours, but you think they're yours, so you're pursuing them. If you become aware, oh, actually, I'm working hard on something that's actually not my desire anymore, you can let go of that to create something you truly desire. And there's the link is already up on my site. I already have people registering for the January Radical Abundance class, and that is meetkathywilliams.com/radical abundance online. And radical means far reaching or thorough. So it's a thorough sense of abundance throughout your life, not just in terms of money. Oh, thanks for asking about that, Betsy. It lights me up so much to watch people change their lives, from their finances, which people say, I've had students say, I've gotten my best months of sales since working with you on that. And then I have other people who say, one lady just the other day said, $5,000 extra dollars, unexpected. So it's just fun to have these surprises that the universe drops in our laps. And in this show, we're going to talk about an abundance of food, right? When you're at holiday parties, when you have 2 parties in a row, or when you just, so many reasons we eat that aren't even related to hunger. And as I said a little earlier, I've done most of them, from trying to punish myself by using food, to rewarding myself to using food, to not eating, to overeating, to undereating, to you name it. It's been a thing. And it's not like cigarette smoking where we could just quit cold turkey. I mean, food is one of those things that it permeates our lives, and we have conditioning around it too. Like, oh, I should eat breakfast, or I should eat lunch, right? So many experts telling us all this various stuff, and us taking that information in as though it's true for us, not truly questioning, hey, is that really what would work best for me and my body? So, oh, Betsy, where do we begin?
Great question. It is such an all-encompassing subject, isn't it? Wow. So the first thing I heard when you asked that question was, automatic pilot. So, how much eating do you do like an automatic pilot? If you're going to a party or some event, are you eating just because you feel like you're supposed to?
I've definitely done that, especially if someone cooked something, right? Oh, I made this special pineapple upside down cake just for this party. Aren't you going to have some? Oh. Or, I made this because I know you like it, right? That obligatory eating where we don't feel allowed to say, oh, I'll have a bite. I'm really full right now, but I'll have a bite because I know how good it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's it. Like, so, where could you do just a little bit, as opposed to eating like an entire plate of something that you're not, it's just not hungry, but you're forcing yourself to eat. I have a friend who is kind of a master at making it look like she's eating, but she's really not. It's quite amusing. Yeah.
So what does she do?
Well, she kind of moves the food around on the plate. I watched her one time where we were actually at this exact situation that I brought up, where we had had a nice dinner, and then somebody called and said, "Oh, come over, and we were looking, we were like, all right, well, we were about to feed them, but we've already eaten, so we're not hungry. And we told them that before we went over. And they're like, oh, I just made this big, giant strawberry shortcake, and he brought it out, and it was this massive amount of food, and we were looking at each other going, well, we'll split it. Remember we told you we'd already eaten. So it was so funny, and we just watched her, and she took a couple of bites, and then she just kind of moved the food around on her plate and made it look like she was eating. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But it satisfied his, you have to eat this because I made it for you. Yeah, and it was really an interesting thing to watch.
So that's always an option, right? Okay, how much can I actually play with my food? I know Mom said not to, but here we go.
Right.
And we're almost at a break. And I just wanted to mention that there are so many questions we can ask regarding food. So some of them will ask about when we're craving things or when we think we're hungry. What do we really require? How much?
Wonderful.
So many different questions we can ask, including who does this belong to? So we'll be back in just a moment exploring some of the questions we can ask and then other tactics so that you don't eat when your body doesn't actually need it. Thanks for listening to Imperfect Brilliance, everyone.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from New Thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hi, this is New Age Grammy winner Paul Avgerinos. Thanks for listening to OMTimes Radio, and please support my peaceful healing music with a purchase at iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you shop for fine music. Just put my name into the search engine, Paul Avgerinos. A, V like Victor, G like George, E-R-I-N-O-S. You can also visit me at roundskymusic.com. Thanks for listening, and I'm wishing you the brightest of blessings.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I liked kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm going to return the kayak.
Can we walk home?
How about a taxi?
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Imperfect Brilliance. We're so glad and grateful and joyful that you are here with us today or listening to us in the future. And I had somebody tell me just recently that she is not able to catch a whole lot of our calls live, but she is so grateful for the replays and how much she enjoys listening. So it's always nice to hear from you guys. Please reach out. Let us know any questions or topics you would like us to explore. We're happy to look at the energy and play with it when it pops. And that's one of the things that we do. We really do ask a lot of questions. And right before the break, Kathy was saying, we're going to dive into some questions you can ask and tips and techniques for the holiday season and beyond. It's certainly not something you just, just utilize at the holidays and then put away for the rest of the year. So, Kathy, did you have something you wanted to start us with? Yes.
So, first off, when you think you would like to eat, ask, am I hungry? It may be a little obvious, but sometimes we're not really hungry. It's like, oh, I'm thirsty. Or, oh no, I was slightly bored and wanted to do something interesting, so I thought I'd, get something to eat. Or, becoming aware of, am I hungry or am I eating for some other reason? And the other thing you can become aware of is, so often we think, oh, eating is going to energize me. Mm-hmm. And how often do we go to that conclusion, but that's not actually really the case, right? I mean, after Thanksgiving dinner, do you feel energized and ready to go on a hike? I don't. So just ask, body, what do you require to feel more energized? You can actually pull energy into your body from above you. You can do this right now, no matter what you're doing. Driving, standing, sitting. Pull energy into your body from above, like a giant waterfall. Pull energy into your feet from the ground. And all the way up. Pull energy from the right and the left. In and through you, and from in front of you, and from behind you. And that can get us energized. And you may like one direction more than another. Like, I really love the waterfall idea and also pulling up through the earth. That just feels really good to me.
It does. Yeah. It does.
So, pulling energy into your body can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we are hungry, right? In which case we need to ask, or it's useful to ask, hey, body, what would you like to eat?
Well,
make it really clear.
And then that brings up an interesting question. So asking your buddy, hey, what would you like to eat? And make it very clear. Well, what if you don't hear anything?
Okay, this is great. We receive information in different ways. So some people might hear it. I almost never hear it. I might get an image, or if I'm at a restaurant, I am one of the fastest people to order. Because I'll open the menu. I'll ask my body, hey, what would you like? Open the menu, and something jumps out at me. Oh, I'd love to have the spinach salad. Or, oh, I'd really like those ahi nachos. Ahi is tuna in Hawaii. So this can asking your body to make it really clear can be an ongoing exploration, and you develop that conversation. It wasn't always super, super clear to me, But as I asked my body to make it really clear, now I'm repelled by certain things in the buffet line, and then other things are like, oh, hi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so certain things I actually seem to have a slight aversion to, where it's like, whoop, not that. My body doesn't want it.
Yes, and when you learn to, include your body in your decisions, even if and sometimes we override our bodies. Certainly I have, and I still can. They're like, no, but I want it, and then so I might, drink something or eat something that my body doesn't really want, but I'm like, I think I want it. So then what I have found, because I'm way more in communion with my body than I've ever been before, is that if I eat it or drink it, it doesn't really taste that good. I'm like, oh, okay, body, this is another way of telling me that you don't want it. So, and then the next time, if my body is asking for it, then it tastes delicious and savory and wonderful, and you're enjoying every bite or every, sip of whatever it is. It's just like, oh. So one of the things that I wanted to bring into that conversation that you were just saying was the fact that just because something either doesn't taste so good one time, it might taste wonderful the next time, or vice versa. So you're constantly in, right? So you're constantly in conversation and question and communication with your body. And your body will tell you, hey, hello, I think I told you I didn't really want this right now,
And this isn't just true with food, it's also true with people.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, like if we look at a little child, I don't want to hug Aunt Edna. There is likely a reason for that. Aunt Edna's body might not feel too good. So and we all know when you eat that thing that just hits the spot, how good it is. It can be amazing and blissful. I have a client who I was talking with a couple of days ago, and he said, Kathy, I used to think talking with my body was woo-woo. And now I know it's just so practical. It's such a practical thing. I mean, if you think about it, like we're more inclined to rely on experts we've never met by reading a book or by listening to a program or by hearing about something, relying on their nutritional information or their dietary information, than we are to consult this organism, this really wise organism that knows to put an eye cell in the eye and a liver cell in the liver and knows how to take in sensory information and convert it, and allow you to breathe and see and all of these things. And we don't consult it to see, well, what do you require? It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. Really is.
And it knows exactly what it needs, I require magnesium or calcium or whatever it is. It knows.
It does, and sometimes it will be very clear with me, like if I require a little salt or a little sugar, and that even actually happened this weekend. My body, sometimes when I'm changing and releasing a lot, it requires extra salt, and so I was eating something that was salty, and it didn't taste salty at all. So I was like, oh, okay, I needed a little bit more salt. And then when it got what it required, then it tasted too salty, and I didn't need it anymore. But it was really just keep asking, okay, when I was standing in front of a bunch of different, there was like a bunch of snacks on the table, and I said, okay, body, what would you enjoy? Is it this nut here, this salted nut, or is it a little bit of popcorn, or is it, I was just asking. And, and as you were saying, things will pop out in the menu where something is just, you see it, and then the other things are kind of blurry. That's what your body would enjoy having. That's how it works.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
I can
so
hear.
How about for you, Kath?
Well, I hear people and this sort of rebuttal. Well, that's all well and good, but Kathy or Betsy, if left to my own devices and I listened to my body, I would just eat Reese's Pieces for the next 2 weeks. And I can almost guarantee you wouldn't, right? I mean, you might eat them for a day or two, and then it's like, okay, enough. I need something different. And there have been studies of children, and the studies were done with, I think there were 3-year-olds, 2 or 3-year-olds. They put them in a room with a free-for-all buffet within reach, that had all sorts of foods on them that the kids could choose from. And they found that the kids wouldn't eat a balanced diet every day. But if you average it out over the course of a couple of days, they do, right? By just choosing what they wanted to eat and felt like eating. Over the course of 3-4 days, they would have a balanced diet. And so it's not about getting all the food groups every day because that's really control, right? Where we're looking at, well, have I had my servings of vegetables today? It's more of like, what would my body really like right now? And how much? That's another thing that's really been trained out of so many of us. Eat everything on your plate. There are kids who are starving in Zimbabwe or China or whatever.
Yeah, and that, that's such a thing, and I've shared on the show that I have had struggles with all kinds of different food issues and body issues and all of these things where I have really at different times overridden what my body has told me. I mean, really overridden them to the point of getting myself physically ill, where I would just eat to numb out, and it became so like an automatic pilot where I would just eat to stuff my feelings. But I didn't want to know something, or I didn't want to deal something. So my way of coping, before I had all these wonderful tools and questions, was just to eat. And that wasn't always my best choice. So for me, I'm really grateful that now, like and I can sometimes do that too. I can kind of numb out, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? And so very quickly now, they're like, oh, do you really desire to eat this? Or what are you avoiding looking at or asking questions about? Or are you procrastinating about something? Are you, what are you doing when you're going to the automatic pilot of, for me, like just eating without thinking or eating without asking questions, I guess is a better way than thinking. It's like eating without asking questions. So then in that, what am I doing? Oh, okay. So then all of the questions, like Kathy was saying before, who does this even belong to is a wonderful question to be like, well, what am I, even what we joked about at the beginning of the show, we both said we had headaches. Well, mine is almost gone now. It's way better than it was. Kathy's is gone. We said, who does it belong to? Most of us we are so in tune with the world, the earth, other people, but when we feel something in our bodies, we automatically think that it's ours, right? So it's like, oh gosh, I have a terrible headache. Well, now what do? Do I take, do you go to the cabinet and you take some aspirin? Well, does your body even really require the aspirin? Or, and it absolutely might, but ask questions. Body, do you require this aspirin? You might get a yes, you might get a no, you might not get an anything. How about water? Do you require something to eat? Like, what's going on here? What are you telling me with this headache?
Yeah, what are you telling me? And I remember a story. I remember being on the massage table and being like, I really desire Rice Krispies right now, which is strange because I haven't eaten Rice Krispies for 15, 20 years. And my friend who was giving the massage was familiar with Access and asked, Kathy, does that belong to you? Is that really yours? And I was like, oh, no, it's not. And it just left. So that desire wasn't even mine. And it can be that simple and that quick to let go of something, including a desire for chocolate. and, you know, there is another sort of thing you can do when you sense a craving, because you not only have a physical body, but also energy bodies. And so when you have a craving, you can ask, are my subtle bodies getting all the energy they require? Because oftentimes cravings occur as a result of one of your subtle bodies not getting the energy it needs. And you don't even have to know exactly what that is. You can just use the clearing statement. Oh, and we haven't used it yet during this show. So everything that doesn't allow my subtle bodies to receive all the energy they need, destroy and uncreate that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Or you can just say pot and pock that. And that's the Access Consciousness clearing statement, which allows you to let go of the limitations in your mind, in your body, the stuckness, whatever it is. It's like a magic wand to clear those things away. So destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow my subtle bodies to receive the information, the energy that they need.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I love that, love that. And I know we're just about to go to break, so before the music starts, just as a reminder, imperfectbrilliance.com. You can find us on Facebook, Imperfect Brilliance on our Facebook page, and our personal web pages or Facebook pages, Kathy Williams and Betsy McLaughlin. Stay tuned where we've got some more tips and tricks for you right after this break.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living, a chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Hi, this is recording artist and composer Yuval Ran, inviting you to a voyage through the chakras, a new double album of guided meditations to transform your life, a sublime musical medicine for nourishing inner peace and reaching to your higher virtues. Get it now at metamindfulnessmusic.com, METTA, mindfulnessmusic.com.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. This cat makes me make art. He's always motivating me to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Keyboard Cat, YouTube star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Start yours today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Imperfect Brilliance, everyone. We're having a conversation about food, eating, judgments, and hang-ups. And let's dive into judgment a little bit, since we haven't really discussed judgment very much, although it's kind of pervaded the conversation. I think a lot of us judge ourselves for eating when we know we're not hungry, or for eating for pleasure or to stuff emotions, or many of the reasons for eating we've just discussed. And we also have judgments that may be more subtle, like, oh, it's lunchtime, I should eat. Every time we come across a should, that's indicative of a judgment, right? Should shows us that we're shoulding on ourselves, which is judging ourselves in some way, or judging what's going on. So, what would you like the listeners to hear about that, Betsy? Have you ever judged yourself regarding food?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So, in sharing with you guys, at one point in my life, I weighed almost 500 pounds. And so you talk about judging. I judged myself like nonstop. And I could also hear everyone else's judgments about, being such a large, in such a large body. And it was really interesting. Some of them I could hear really loudly. So, I would try to shrink and hide, which is kind of hard when you have a large body. But you can also learn to make yourself invisible. So I was pretty much a walking, talking judgment machine 24/7. And I also, as I'm saying all these words, I think I can also perceive how much of my judgment I was feeling from other people that they were feeling from me, right? So it's kind of like that, where we talked about that, who does this belong to? And, so was it their judgment or my perception of what they were judging and thinking? So, yeah, so you can see how, twisted up I was around judgment. So then, what did I do? I would go and eat. And I would not just eat, I would binge. And I was always, secret binging. And I would eat, and then I would make myself sick. So then I would judge myself for that. And then I would judge myself for being sick. And then it was very cyclical. And at that point in time, I felt like there was no other way to be. And it was not a joyful place to live in at all. So I totally get if anybody out there is listening and thinking, that they have judged themselves for, oh, they shouldn't have eaten, that second piece of pie, or they shouldn't have eaten half of their kids' Halloween candy, or whatever it is that, that you might be judging yourself for. I get it. I mean, I totally get that space. And I am here to tell you that there is something different that you can choose for yourself. And so what do I, I would say, what do I do now if I ever have more than my body desires and I start to get that feeling like, oh, I'm a little sick here. I really don't go into judgment too much anymore. So I'm super grateful for that. Super grateful that I'm not on that cycle of beating myself up. And then the other part to that cycle is you beat yourself up and then you're like, well, it'll never change. It's no use. So I might as well continue doing the same thing. Right? So that whole
exactly.
That whole self-defeating thing. So there are other things you can do instead of, I'm unworthy, I'm so awful, I'm so fat, I'm so miserable, I'm so whatever it is that you are telling yourself 24/7. What if you can say to yourself, maybe that wasn't my best choice, and guess what? I can choose something different right here, right now. It doesn't have to even be tomorrow, or it doesn't have to be Monday. I could tell you I am an expert on so many different diets, and starting Monday. I'll just start again on Monday. So what if you choose something different right now? What if you've had 6 candy bars today and you're beating yourself up over it? What if you just say instead, okay, well, let's start playing with my body and including my body. And hey, body, what would you like to have today? Would you like to eat anything else? You may get a yes, you may get a no. And when you find yourself, if you find yourself judging anything that you have eaten or drunk or not eaten or not drunk, let's say you go the other way and you don't eat and you don't drink, and then you judge yourself for that. What if you just say, body, what would you enjoy? And body, I am so sorry for not listening to you. And how can I make up for ignoring you? And your body is always, 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 always with you. And your body does not judge you. That's one of the most beautiful things that has come from my road that I chose to be on with food and body size and judgment and everything. Throughout all of this, my body has not judged me. I've judged the heck out of me and my body, but not the other way. So what could you choose right here, right now, to get in communion, even if it's just a little tiny bit of communion with your body? And I know you have a lot of stuff to share, so thank you for letting me talk for a couple of minutes, Kathy.
Absolutely, Beth. You know, one of the things that I love about Access Consciousness is the simplicity of the tools. And, you know, we can POC and POD or use the clearing statement. Oh, everywhere I'm judging myself for this. Destroy and uncreate it. And use the clearing statement. We can remind ourselves that our judgment is just an interesting point of view. Right? Yeah. Oh, interesting point of view. I'm judging myself. Interesting point of view. I should have done it differently. Interesting point of view. I shouldn't have eaten that whole plate of food or 2 pieces of cheesecake. Interesting point of view. You know, and then recognize that right here, right now, you have the ability to make another choice.
Yeah.
Okay? Choosing again. Okay. You know, I did that. That's over. That's the past. I learned something. I got more information. Now what do I choose right here, right now? Okay, judging myself is not creating something greater. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to turn on some music and dance. And saying that brings me to something I did when I used to eat a lot for reasons other than hunger. I lived alone for a while, which I actually really loved. And I would do things out of boredom or or eat for pleasure, like eat out of boredom or eat for pleasure. So what I did was I wrote a list of like 20 things that gave me pleasure, from turning on music and dancing to maybe watching funny YouTube videos to whatever it was, going for a walk outside, practicing Tai Chi. So you make a list of a bunch of things that you enjoy and then stick it somewhere, maybe on the refrigerator or somewhere you'll see it on the way to eat. And so when you're reaching for food and you realize, oh, well, I could actually be putting on some music, or I could be crocheting, or I could be calling up a friend. I don't have to use food to self-medicate or pacify or stuff emotions or give me something to do because I'm bored. I have all these other things I could choose instead.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that really made a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just seeing those things, those alternatives.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. And there's so many other, questions and tools that you can use. And the other thing that's popping in right now to share with, no matter where you are, no matter what you've chosen, and no matter what you choose next, be kind to yourself. Like that goes along with the stop judging yourself. Be kind. Be kind to you and your body. And in the whatever choice you make, it's all okay. And this conversation's kind of gone a different way than I thought maybe we were going to go today. And there's so much more that we can dive into, Kathy. So what other tips? We do have a few minutes left on the show today. What other questions or tips did you want to try to incorporate in today's show?
There are so many things. And starting next week, I actually have a program called 5 Days of Harmony with Food. And it's 5 half-hour sessions unpacking different areas and going through exercises in which we create change around food and eating and judgment and habits. There's some places you can tap to actually change habits. And you can find out more about that at meetkathywilliams.com/upcoming. And there's all my upcoming classes tend to go there. meetkathywilliams.com/upcoming. And, what I would really like to say is when you're eating, right, a lot of times we are eating because we appreciate the food. It's good. We've chosen it because it looks amazing. And so if we could do food, if we could do even our dinner like we do a wine tasting or a chocolate tasting. When I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, we got all these little chocolates, and they said, okay, now take it between 2 fingers and snap it. And so you'd take your piece of chocolate and you'd snap it in half. And they were like, what did that sound like? And you would be like, oh, the really dark one snaps the crackliest, right? And then, okay, now smell it. What's it smell like? And, oh, it smells kind of fruity, or it smells a little bitter, or whatever it is. And then, okay, now put it on your tongue. And it's like, if we make the whole thing something that's really engaging, instead of mindlessly shoveling our food into our mouth, it's so different. It's such a different experience. I mean, I could take a chocolate bar and mindlessly consume it in like 5 minutes, or I could take like one tiny 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square of chocolate and like really imbibe that in the space of 5 minutes. And the experience is so different between the two. So the invitation is really to get present with whether it's food that you're eating or a conversation that you're having or whatever it is, so you can experience the richness of that experience in its fullness. What else do you have, Betsy?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. The slowing down and enjoying the holidays and enjoying your friends and your family and the wonderful abundance of food, that's usually around. And like you said, a little bite here, a little bite there. And if you're hungry, eat too. We're not saying don't eat, right? Like, that's not what we're saying. Just enjoy yourself. And enjoy the food, slow down. A lot of us tend to eat really quickly. I have a friend who used to be in the military, and he had I forget, just kind of a mind-blowing amount of time to eat. It was 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something, and he was still eating like he was in the military and only had the 5 minutes to eat his entire meal. And he'd be like, Bob, slow down, honey. Nobody's gonna, you don't have to go off to start your shift at the armory or whatever, And so really enjoy, savor, like Kathy was talking about. And what else? Goodness, there's so many different places to go.
I think any new mom can relate to that too, like trying to shovel their food in before baby is calling again. Yeah, really asking. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you brought in kids for a moment, and my son, as he was growing up, some days he was really, really hungry, and other days he hardly ate at all. And he just really was a great example of listening to your body. And I can't believe how fast this hour went, Kathy. Thank you guys so much for listening to Imperfect Brilliance.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, everybody. We'll be on again next week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. It's 1 o'clock Hawaii. And if you can't wait till then, we're also on SoundCloud, iom.fm, and meetkathywilliams.com/radio. You can find all of it there, and as well as iTunes. So thanks, everybody, for being here, and